Always sounds good.
Yes, it's always fun.
Oh,
Now, I do have the weirdness that I can,
put it all on consent, let's go.
Yeah, I got it.
this side, I can actually feel the tones when
Yeah.
music is played.
It's
So
just going,
yeah, so I actually feel it. For y'all hear it,
Is that okay, Mike?
feel it.
so it's weird.
Can we vote to put it all on consent? Let's
This
go.
side of the body, I feel everything.
That's interesting.
So when I say I feel music, I
You
can.
feel it? Deep down.
That's true, deep down.
There's the board.
Eric,
Hey, old timer. Hey, there you
how are
go.
you, sir?
Did you say good morning? That's what, I just got up, I didn't know.
Oh, well, good morning.
When you look, when you're retired like that, you ain't gotta,
Anything you want.
whatever you gonna do. How you doing, old timer?
I'm here.
Okay.
Let's get this over with, I'm missing a game.
You miss one?
We're down 21-23.
You were down?
Volleyball.
No.
No, this is JV.
Oh, okay.
Kendall plays in the JV.
Julie Moultrie called me today.
Huh?
Julie Moultrie called me today.
I'm sorry?
She's on her way here right now. No, she's not.
Oh.
You know, everybody wants to give me a rule.
Yeah, but this is open play here.
No, she's, I don't wanna know.
Hey,
I got a few coming.
let me-
No, we don't need to really say anything. I've already told her. We've already got it worked out.
if we didn't have, if she didn't have that program going, there would be nobody down there ever. There's hardly anybody free time plays.
So I said, it's all gonna work out. It's fine. She goes, I'm excited about it. I just, you know, of course she wants to do a little bit of this, a little of that. And I go, hey, it's all done. We're gonna get the design. But she goes, I said, we already know about what it's gonna look like.
Enjoy it.
But I like the, back to where those two were, little covered area for the old people, some of them older than me. There's people older than you?
I told Kathy, I see like a tennis wall, you know, like a wall with thing stuff on it. And then she said there's some shade areas, so there's supposed to be some more shade.
We'll just wait till they get,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
we don't,
How's it going?
we definitely don't need to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, I know.
Killing horn.
Okay.
Nah.
We don't need to spend a lot of time.
How's it going?
here we go. I agree. All right, we got 6:30. Has everybody got
What's up,
6:30?
Harry?
Hey, man.
You doing all right?
Harry?
Yes.
Harry, you want to say?
I will.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order this Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Well, let me wait for staff to get in here.
Oh,
At least one or two of them.
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry, I started to call it to order without y'all. But I will, now that you're here, I will call to order this Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Everyone is present with the exception of Alderman Jeff McKee. He got stuck on a work case. So if everyone would please stand for the opening prayer by Vice Mayor McKee and remain standing for the pledge.
dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and this opportunity we have to come and serve you through our small town here, dear God. Give us guidance, give us directions on decisions we make, then keep your hand upon everything we do. Be with this town, be with all of our employees that are in this heat, dear God. Keep them safe. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mrs. Howell, will you lead us in the pledge, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Don't worry.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the August 4th, 2025 meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Barker. Discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item passes. Next up, we got grievances and comments from citizens. I should have said this at the beginning. This is a chance for anyone to come up and speak on any particular topic if they choose. We'll give you up to 3 minutes. We do ask that you state your name and address for the record. And your item may or may not be on the agenda tonight, but we don't usually do question and answer. But staff will make note. And if your question is answered during the meeting or we can do it, we will make sure we try to do that. So is there anyone here to speak on any particular topic? All right, seeing none. This is going to be a short meeting. Communications, Sheriff's Department report is on file. Fire Department report is on file. Announcements, Mrs. Howell, don't you have a couple of announcements to make?
I'll keep it short.
Okay.
This Saturday, the place to be is the Arlington Elementary School. 7:30 starts the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, and I'll just be kind and announce that for them. The 5K starts at 8 o'clock. And so this is, I think, the 25th or 26th year for the 5K. And so if you can come on out, there'll be a good crowd, and it's always a lot of fun. And Mr. Mayor brought you a shirt.
Okay, thank you.
And all the rest of you can get one of these lovely shirts.
Thank you.
by signing up. Come by the
All right.
office Thursday or Friday, and we'll be glad to help you with that. We have 71 sponsors this year for the 5K. Chamber Luncheon is next Wednesday. Our speaker is Joanne Massey with the Economic Development Growth Engine. So hope you can come to one of our events.
And you got music on the square too?
Music on the Square is September 20th. Yes, September 20th. Mudflap Kings is the band. Now, lots going on.
And barbecue next month?
Barbecue next month, yes.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Howell. I really don't, I mean, I know we've had the retreat, we've talked, so we've had a lot of information going out, so I really don't have any announcements. I do have I think, met with, some of the mayors have met with, as a group, with Shelby County mayoral candidates, trying to just kind of vet them some. And then we have our usual kind of quarterly meeting with Congressman Kustoff this next week or so, or this Friday, I think. And so just busy, just trying to keep up with what's going on in Shelby County and the state. And there'll be more to come on that as elections come up next year, and there'll be more information coming. But I really don't have any other information. All the announcements seem to be made. Anybody have anything they want to add?
The only other thing I'd like to add is the cupcakes in the room are for us to share tonight and for you to take home to your families. On September 6th, Powers Hill Design, Steve Hill and Nisha Powers will be celebrating 20 years in their practice together. Arlington was their very first client and their longest running client. So they wanted to bring a sweet treat to tell you all how much they appreciate the collaboration and how much they've enjoyed doing business with us, and hope that it's a long relationship to come.
Thank you, because I was supposed to say that, so thank you for reminding me. So everybody, when you leave, if you want, there's some plates back there. If you want to take one or two, couple with you, take them home to your wives and act like you did something really nice for them. Went out of the way to get them something. But that's, any other announcements?
That's it.
All right, seeing none, we'll move on to, we don't have any committee reports. Any old business, Mrs. Owens?
No, sir.
Okay, item A on new business, resolution 2025-39 to readopt the fund balance policy in accordance with governmental accounting and financial standards boards, or GASB statement number 54. Mrs. Owens.
Sorry, I was trying to make sure my mic was on. This is a resolution to revise the fund balance policy. We do revisit these policies every year. The last time it was adopted was last October, so it's been right about a year since we revisited it. After this budget cycle, everyone on the board, we all talked about what our future looks like and being a growing city. So this does propose an amendment to take it from a minimum of 100% to a minimum of 75% for your undesignated fund balance, and it still outlines if you were to go below your 75, how you would build that back up to 75. And it also calls out a maximum of 125%. So staff does recommend approval.
You've heard the recommendation by Mrs. Owens. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Harmon,
Second.
second by Mr. Biggs. Thank you again for this. I think this is one of those long-time conversations that we've had as a group on years, 10, 15 years ago, how do we get to this point of building it up? And now we're like, how do we make sure that we're utilizing it properly? So appreciate everyone's input at the retreat. And any comments, questions? Okay. Seeing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That item passes. Item B, resolution 2025-40 to adopt town-owned facility naming policy. Mrs. Durant.
We also discussed that at the retreat, and Ms. Reeder had done her research and come up with guidelines and guardrails to be able to assist the board anytime anyone came forward with a suggestion of naming a town asset. So this policy is very simple, very straightforward. It's a living document, can be amended and changed at any time. This is a good starting point for us to adopt this policy, so staff does recommend approval.
And you've heard the recommendation by Mr. Durant. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Brooks,
Second.
second by Mr. Vice Mayor McKee. So, again, thank you, staff, for, there was a lot of work put into before the retreat, so this information tonight is just kind of flowing. But I think this is something good, something that we've always kicked around and talked about, but we've never really moved forward with. So this will give at least some guidelines moving forward, So like I said, it's a fluid document, so we can always adjust it. Any comments or questions on it?
That's a lot of work they put in, so great start.
Yeah.
Appreciate your work.
Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item passes. Next up, item C, Resolution 2025-41 to authorize Mike Wisman in his capacity as mayor to enter into a professional services agreement with Kimley Horn for tennis complex pickleball expansion. Mrs. Durant.
So years ago, when this board decided to spend from reserves to build the tennis courts, we always knew that that was a phase one and that a phase two was coming. So what I did in July of 2024 was reach out to the original company who built and designed the tennis courts and asked them to give us a ballpark figure of what we thought that might cost. That was for tennis courts. We didn't entertain the idea of pickleball. I mean, we were talking about it, but I didn't specifically ask them to name pickleball. But I did verify that what we would do is build those pickleball courts in such a way that if pickleball fades away at some point or is not utilized as much as we think it will be, that those courts can be convertible to additional tennis courts. So this contract before you tonight is with Kimley Horn. Kimley Horn and Associates, Michael Shelton did the Parks Master Plan, you will remember. So we felt like it was logical to go back with them. They've recently done another tennis complex. So we have asked them to be the lead engineering firm in this, and this contract sets forth the tasks that they will do to get us to the construction document phase, bidding phase, then of course it'll come back to you to award bids. At that time, we'll have an engineering estimate. Prior to bids, we'll have an engineering estimate, and then once we come back to you to award, we will have a bid in hand, and they will see us through the construction phase, inspection, and then we hope to, be able to open tennis courts hopefully within the next year or so. Pickleball, excuse me.
Same.
Pickleball.
I knew you read it, but
All right, you've heard the recommendation by Mrs. Durant. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Mayor McKee, second by Mr. Barker. Again, this is probably, I think, from what staff and you all up here know, this is probably one of our most requested things for the last several years.
since we did the tennis courts, for sure.
And it's amazing to see how many kids and adults are going into other communities to play this to all hours of the night. So I'm proud that we're actually getting to get some movement on this. So I know there'll be, as once we get y'all have to remember, we're getting this development, we'll have Kimley Horn, but we are also working on the overall master plan for the town, Parks Master Plan.
Yes, sir, we've given them, it's not just parks, it's all town-owned properties and facilities. So we've given them a list of town-owned properties, vacant and occupied. We've given them a list of needs, and they have that Parks Master Plan that did the survey of the community's needs and the community's desires. So we're working with them. They will want to meet with you guys on that part of the project one-on-one to get your input on what you see the needs are, and we'll get closer to being able to have a road map, if you will, of how we will best utilize the town-owned properties moving forward in the future.
So yeah, I just want to remind everybody, even though we're working on the big one, this is just a small piece in that puzzle that kind of fits in there. So questions or comments?
Yeah, just one on my part. This does not have anything to do with a grant, so it would be probably a lot quicker and with our hands not being tied, correct?
Correct. One of the things that I did with Kimley Horn when I was talking to them is that I told them we had gained momentum through the retreat and the conversations that we had had with the board, that we didn't want to lose that momentum, that I needed their guarantee that they were making this project a priority. Last thing we need is a small project that to them, this is relatively small project getting lost in the hopper with a lot of large projects. And I had their assurance that they understood that we had been talking about this for some time, and that now we were ready to move quickly, and that it was 100% from reserves. Adjusting the fund balance policy is where you're gonna spend some of that money from reserves, and they are ready to give it their undivided attention. I hope to have bid documents by early May.
Yeah,
Okay.
that answered mine. I just wanted to make sure that we knew that it wasn't part of a grant.
So, I'm happy to hear that, your comment about that they could be converted to two tennis courts. So I'm assuming that means that whatever they present, we would have time to say whether, because like I said, at the retreat, 14 pickleball courts seems like a lot to me. And so, you know, I think we have 6 tennis courts. That's kind of where my mind was going at the retreat, was like, why not add 2 tennis courts and 8 pickleball courts?
That's already been communicated to them.
Okay,
So you're down from 14 to 12.
okay,
The area that depicted the 2 larger pickleball courts to the south side of the property, that's still open for review and discussion. That could be more tennis courts, could be a practice area, an area for tennis players or even pickleball players to have a wall or a.
you're talking about like the area in between?
Yeah,
in
on the
between.
end of that little
To
courtyard.
the
So-
to the south of the property.
And we're
Okay.
looking at adding some shade areas or something in there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shade
So-
pavilion.
Okay, so it'd be 12, and then we'd have 6 tennis courts, or, yeah, 6 tennis courts. I guess just before we get to the point of sending out for bid, I'd like to, like I looked, unless these numbers, I looked on the internet, so they may be wrong, but it looked like Collierville had 6 public pickleball courts and Bartlett had 6.
No, they got, I think, a public, maybe, a public.
Public.
I'm not sure.
These are at their parks. At Suggs Park, I'm going by the internet, so it could be wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong.
But Suggs Park's had 3 and Cox Park's had 3 at Collierville, and then the Bartlett pictures, I counted 6.
Shadowlawn has a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about
They just
at
put some new ones
the retreat that we could do 6 and 6. You could do even a phase 1 and a phase 2 of the pickleball courts themselves. But while you have the mobilization fees of whatever construction company has awarded the
Costs you
contract
twice as
out there, it's more cost effective to go ahead and build all 12. And then
Yeah.
again, if the pickleball is not proven to be as popular as
The tennis.
we think, it can easily be converted to tennis.
Quickly.
Now, there's two revisions, so they'll present their ideas with staff's direction. We'll present that to you probably via email, not via a public forum. Let you float your ideas, let you tell us what you like, what you don't like. Take it back to Kimley Horn, and they will do another round of revisions, and then we'll bring it back to a public forum.
Just for the benefit of the people up here and you guys, I did reach out to a tennis player, not involved in politics, wouldn't even know people up here except for the mayor. Wouldn't know anybody else up here, so they're not involved in politics or anything like that, but they play tennis. And so I was asking her about the pickleball courts. And I said, hey, you know, what do you think? Like, they brought us like 14, does that seem, no, it's 12, I know, but, does that seem like reasonable? And she's like, I don't really know. But I don't play tennis in Arlington anymore, because the last couple of times I've gone up there on a nice day, I had to wait an hour and a half to play. And so that's kind of where I was kind of thinking that before, but then kind of talking to her, it kind of reaffirmed that, you know, would it be wiser to make some of them tennis courts, instead of just going full-fledged 12 pickleball courts? But we have time. I mean, what you're saying is, if they're convertible, we have time to look, do some more research, I guess.
And I think to that point is kind of the whole master plan at some point. I mean, we don't want to spend money and then change them at some point, but we've talked about other locations where we may be able to have some infill spots to do pickleball or tennis, a smaller, just, I mean, if you look around Bartlett and some of those, they have sometimes just little in a few places. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but that's, with that master plan, we're hoping that that's where we have 80-something acres that we're waiting to add on to some of our town land that'll be a part of that overall process, that at least give us a vision of, we'll have places to do some other stuff.
Yeah.
And we've always got Douglas Park that we could do some stuff with. It's just, of course, like I hate to use the old adage, time and money, but it just depends on what the money costs. But I think from kind of what Mrs. Durant's, the momentum was kind of like, all right, we know, we don't want to just rush and do something.
Yeah.
But this was designed to be a multi-use complex, pickleball and tennis. We just weren't sure how popular pickleball got in the last
I
5 to 8
agree.
years.
Yeah, and I do agree with you and Mr. Rand that whatever we decide to do, we need to do it now versus doing more phases. So I'm in total agreement with that. Whatever the park is gonna look like at the final product, we need to do it instead of, dragging it out. So
A lot less costly doing it that way.
Yeah,
The only
definitely.
thing I would urge you to do is if during this process you do indeed decide that you want less pickleball, more tennis, we have to make that perfectly clear to the organization who's running tennis right now that the new courts are not for their organizational use, they're for public use.
Yeah,
So that there's not scheduled play on those courts.
yeah,
That's what the holdup is of the hour-and-a-half wait.
yeah.
Comments, questions?
That's all I got.
Well, real quick, I will, Ms. Moultrie, if you'll make it quick, since you are a part of the tennis organization, we're talking tennis, I'll grant you a couple minutes, just a couple, real quick. Come up if you want to, come up and state your name and address for the record.
I'm Julie Moultrie, and I'm the director of the tennis facility. And yeah, our biggest challenge right now is pickleball, and I'm an avid supporter of pickleball. I love the sport. It's great for the community, and we need pickleball courts first before we need more tennis courts. Right now, the main reason that the tennis courts are inaccessible is because they've been overrun by pickleballers. And so there'll be 15, 20 pickleballers on each court every night. We finally got permission from Parks to post signs saying it's a tennis facility first, but we welcome pickleballers because they're being active and it's a great sport. My family loves it. I would love to see pickleball built first. My heart hurts thinking that there wouldn't be more tennis courts because we're at max capacity, and we would love another tennis court at that same facility that is public only so that we can, put more middle school matches out. We got 40 kids on the middle school team today that are out there waiting for hours just for a chance to play once. I'd love to have another tennis court out there so that the public can always have one open even when we have middle school and high school programming. And I love the idea of pickleball. I wish there was another big park somewhere. I think a minimum of 8 pickleball courts is a minimum. They're going to be filled the day you build them. And if we had 2 more tennis courts, they're full now,
So you said that pickleballers are playing at night.
Yes.
Kind of educate me a little bit, because, so are they bringing their, are they making line, how are they doing it?
So, yeah, it's difficult. The lines are not the same. The net height is different. So they just play on the tennis court lines. There's no kitchen. It's not a regulation. It's just kind of hacking around because it's the closest thing they have to a pickleball court. So they just make do, but it's a different community and they're trying to get active and stay healthy, but they don't have an actual pickleball court to play on. We don't allow taping because it leaves residue. We don't allow chalking because we're not allowed to host home matches for our middle or high school if there's pickleball lines on the tennis court. It's not allowed to have both sets of lines and host a home tennis match. And so we don't allow those things, but it's a different group of people. So it's a great, healthy college crowd that comes out all summer long. And like I said, my daughter's part of that crowd, but they'll be out there until it closes down. And the music, and they're having a blast, and they're having lots of fun, and it's a swarm of people. But building a pickleball facility would help the tennis community because it would offload that crowd into their own space where they can actually play real pickleball with a kitchen and the regulation size net. But I sure would love to see a couple more tennis courts as well.
Thank you,
I
Ms.
don't want
Moultrie.
anyone leaving thinking we can fit a couple of tennis courts on there with these pickleball courts, because there's also a lot of room that's left for stormwater detention.
Yeah, there's only so much space that we
Stormwater
can put
runoff. Yes, sir. I
either
can't-
or, not
I
all.
can't guarantee there's enough room for
Yeah.
two more tennis courts.
And if I could say one more thing, of course, everyone knows we need parking and a separate exit from the parking lot. We also need more shade. The shade right now faces tennis. If we could have a shaded area that faces pickleball, our shaded pavilion is completely full with tennis spectators. So a shaded area facing pickleball. A hitting wall would help tennis players that are waiting have something to hit against, in that space, and we're really short on storage. So another building on the other end of the lawn that would have shade, a hitting wall, and storage would be helpful.
We will see what the design comes up
Thank
with.
you. I'm very
Thank you.
excited about this project. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or comments? Mr. Biggs, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. No more questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That item passes. Any other new business, Mrs. Owens?
No, sir.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the bills for payment?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Brooks. Second by Mr. Harmon. Any objection? Seeing none, that item passes. Before we motion to adjourn, everybody don't forget, you can grab a cupcake or two on your way out. And the rest staff will take 2 employees tomorrow.
Well,
So,
Lila likes them.
Lila does like them. I'll be taking 1 or 2. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Barker. Any objection? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Everybody, remember, let's pick up our stuff up here.
It'll be.
I was at Jackson, they got 18.
Get your cupcake, Mike.